In this episode, we're covering basics scatter terrain, and we're going to be looking at how to create simple little piece like this stone pillar, great for just dotting around on your battlefield. So what we'll do is I'll get the camera set up, get the camera put down, and I'll go through the process. So catch you in a sec, guys. Hey guys, so some of the materials you're going to need. Got foam board, using this for the basic material. You're also going to need some polystyrene, and this is expanded polystyrene. As you can see, I'm trying to get it to shop. It's just camera's not likely that close up. You're also going to need some cocktail sticks so they can push through to give the firm extra structure. You're going to need some pens, pencils, and you're also going to need some flexible craft knives. These are the cheap ones you can get from a pawn shop, different sizes, and they're good for breaking away. You're also going to need some PVA glue. This is also from pawn shop. It's nice and cheap, but it works just the job just as well. And this is what we're going to be creating, guys. We've got a nice simple stone pillar, and I'll take you through the processes. So first things first, take your foam board, and we've got to draw on the rough outline of the base. So just do a rough shape, and we'll look at cutting it out. Now, when you're cutting through with a craft knife and foam board, or any foam really, it's best to do it in 2 or 3 passes, not just one go, because otherwise you can end up ripping the foam. To get a nice clean cut, do it in about 2 or 3 passes. Now, for this part, you need to hold the blade at about 45-degree angle to cut away, and just try and follow the shape. And by cutting it at a 45-degree angle, you do get a really nice beveled edge. So obviously it looks more natural when you come to do your flocking and your filling and stuff. So it looks more natural. Alright, so as you can see now, we can see the whole thing's being carved out. It's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be, because by the time you've got your filler on and you've got your flocking on, you're not going to be able to tell that edge, but at least you've got a nice beveled edge to work from. Right, so next stage from here is to get the polystyrene block, and you can position it wherever you like, centre, wherever you feel is best preference to yourself. But obviously work out a rough place of where you want it to go. Then next stage is start putting the cocktail stick inside it. Now, the cocktail stick is put in the centre, and the reason for this is so that when you stick it in, it don't poke out the sides. But also it helps when you push it into the base, it keeps it nice and strong. Now, when you push the cocktail stick in, you need to make sure that you push it near enough all the way in, just leave a tiny bit out the other end so that it doesn't protrude through the base part. And also what we do is we pre-press it in so that it pops the top surface of the foam board, just so that when we come to put the glue on, you're not having to force it in with the glue. So now the next stage, you're just going to put some PVA glue on the bottom. Just a little bit, just don't smear it all over, because usually when you do a complete flat surface of PVA, it actually takes longer to dry. It dries on the outside, but not in the inside part. So you put a little bit of drop on, and it spreads itself, and it creates air so that it all dries nice and tight underneath. As you can see, I'm just pushing it down, making sure that it's got a nice firm bond, and we'll leave it to dry from there, guys, and we'll come back on the next stage. So guys, as you can see, it's almost dry. It's nearly dry enough to start carving out, and this is the next stage where we need to start carving out the actual structure of the stone pillar.
Be careful with your fingers, guys, because obviously knives are sharp. So just for those people that are a bit health and safety conscious. And as you can see, take off the corners first. Um, this is purely so that it rams shape up a bit more, so it looks a bit more natural, and then we start carving it out. Uh, what we'll do is I'll speed the video up. Guys, you can see got a general shape of what we want, what we're looking for. There is part of the cocktail stick sticking out the top, but that's not a problem. We just clip that off. But as you can see, you've got a nice basic stern structure shape, something to work off when we're doing the filling and everything else. So guys, now it's all carved out, get this cocktail stick part, just get some clippers and we'll just clip it off. Make sure that you keep your finger on it there, guys, because they can break off quite sharp and fast, and there have been two people in the eye, so just be careful. So the next stage is we need to start filling it up. It's just some cheap all-purpose filler, and I have watered it down slightly. So just, it allows the application process a lot better and a lot smoother. Um, as you can see, hopefully, yeah, you can just see how it's running more smooth. So when you first get it, it's really stiff. So you're better off just watering it down with a bit of water. And it makes it easier to apply with a brush. Give it a nice generous coat, guys. Make sure you get all those holes filled and make it more like a stone texture. Because with the polystyrene, if you don't cover it properly, it can leave little holes in it. You can tell it's polystyrene. So I'll get all this filled up. Get a nice generous coat all over. Alright guys, so as you can see, got all filled up. And it's always best to pop it on something just so that when it sets, it doesn't actually stick to your tabletop or any surface. We've got the slate to put on first. It's usually best to do slate first before it fully dries because you can apply more filling. You actually use the filler as like an adhesive, because at the end of it you will be sealing it all with PVA glue anyway. So with the filler and the PVA glue top and bottom, it'll soak in, it'll keep them really firm and steady. So it just apply a bit more filler and select out the rough sort of shape of slate that you want, and just press it in. You can get bags of slate from places like Tesco's or anywhere like that, and just put them in a like a towel, an old, make sure it's an old towel to put them outside, and smash them up with a hammer. Make sure you wrap them up in the towel because otherwise you do get bits fly up in your eyes. So as you can see, I've speed this bit up just so you can see the process a lot quicker. And just selecting even the real fine dust from the slate is good because it gives even smaller bits of stones. So as you can see, this is now all dry after it's been left now ready for the next stage, which is my own mix of PVA paint, PVA glue, sorry, and a black acrylic paint with a slight drop of airbrush thinner. Mix it up. It actually covers two areas really, because it seals the the terrain piece as well as also giving it a good base coat. So it actually does two in one at the same time. Make sure that, and also with it being on PVA in it, it actually makes the terrain piece a lot more stronger as well. So as you can see, give it a nice generous coating. Make sure you get it around dollar stones because it really helps keep them in place. So I get this bit done, guys, and then once it's done, come back. As you can see, now come back, it's nice and dry and it's hard as well. It's very sturdy. So next stage with this now is to get it painted up, and we're using Vallejo paints, neutral grey, and this is just for the base coat for the stone texture. Guys, when you're doing the grade, just make sure you get all the stone areas. Don't worry if it's not too particularly tidy at this stage, because it will get tidied up in the later process. Just need to make sure you get all the stonework covered. So once you've got all the stonework painted up grey, leave it to dry. Don't take too long with the green acrylics, and once I've got all this done, we'll come back and we'll carry on with the next process, which would be dry brushing. So guys, now as you can see, it's not been long, all dried quickly. Next one we're using is a Vallejo light grey. For this, we're just doing quite a heavy dry brush with this one. Make sure that when you get as much paint, quite a lot of paint off the brush, but not too much, because obviously you want to do quite a heavy dry brush so that it does really pick out the texture of the stoneware. Hi guys, so as you can see, that part of dry brushing is done, and the next stage is sky grey. It's a lighter grey, with Vallejo paints again, and with the light grey, you still do a quite a heavy dry brush, but don't clean the brush out, because by not cleaning the brush out, it helps with the blending process between the colours. So instead of being really sharp, it just keeps it nice and subtle. Again, it's quite a heavy dry brush, so and all over the stonework. Don't worry if it looks really bright, because this stage will get darkened down when you put the black wash over the top. It turns it down quite a lot. So as you can see, nice stone texture now, and we have actually I did actually do an extra highlight of white over the top. Probably get away with not using the white, because obviously you are putting the black wash on, but it didn't look bright enough to me at the time, so I decided to put a highlight of white on over the top. Again, I didn't clean the brush out, just carried on same brush. I'll come back once this is all done, guys. As you can see, guys, I'm all set. All the dry brushing is dry, and we're set to put the black wash on. The black wash I have actually created myself. I will do a future video to show how I made it. Start putting an empty old Games Workshop paint pot. As you can see, with the black wash, just get on absolutely everywhere. Make sure you give it a really good coat so it gets in all those recesses, and you can see it darkens it down a real lot, makes it look a lot better. Once the wash is all done, leave it to dry, and then we're on to the stage now where it's left, it's nice and dry, and we've got the final highlight to put on. This is just to touch up, pick up the real main highlights, the real edges, and obviously the base. We'll cover that with a green from Games Workshop, Caliban green, just so that when you do the flocking, it makes it easier. Hi guys, once the dry brush is done, we've gone to doing the Caliban green for the base. The reason I painted it green is because obviously when you flock, sometimes flock can come off, and if it comes off, if you've got black or whatever colour underneath, it's going to look a bit crappy. So what I do is I paint it green, so at least if it comes off or a little bit comes off, I'm not going to tell because it's just like a dark green. So I get all this painted up, guys, and then once I'm done, I'll come back once it's dry. How it's all done, guys, as you can see, just got to leave it to dry for a few minutes, and once it's all done, I'll come back and do the next stage, which is lay down the PVA for the flocking. Make sure you stand it on something, guys, because obviously you don't want paint and stuff on your desk or on your kitchen table. Alright, guys, so as you can see, it's dry now, and it's ready for the next stage, and PVA. So we'll get some PVA down put it on with a brush. I put PVA down neat, just so that it gives the flock a lot better hold. Basically, put the PVA glue down everywhere where you painted the green. Do the inside around the stones first before you do the edges, just so that you're not getting glue everywhere. Alright guys, so once you've got the PVA glue done, it's time to start putting the flock on. I start with a dark green flock, This is for the shading. The flock I've got is actually my own homemade flock. You can buy flocks from places like Jarvis Scenics and various other ones. Just have a look for a flock online. What I do here now is I get some dark green flock and I place it around where all the stones are, where the darker grass would be. Don't need to put too much on. Obviously, I made a slight mistake there. I dropped a bit too much, but it's easy to shake off. Yeah, just go around all the stones with dark green. And then the next one after this is to put the highlight green on, which again is a flock that I've made myself. Sometimes it's better to do it over your tub if you can, rather than all over your desk, because it can get everywhere. Alright guys, so now we're on to the main highlight colour. Just going to drop this around some of the edges just to give it a break it up a bit before I put the main base colour down. Put the highlights and lowlights on first so that when you put your mid green on, it goes on. Once you shake off the excess, it actually still shows through dark and light, rather than trying to put more glue on top and put the highlights and lowlights on. As you can see, it's not much of the real top highlights on because it's only a small piece, so you don't need to put too much on. Next one is my mid green, just the main colour that I've got from the grass. Don't look that much different from the highlight, but it does actually make a difference. Now, when I do this, I like to place it in the tub and actually use a sieve and put it in the sieve and sieve it over. It just gives you a lot better and faster application over the top of the actual terrain piece. If you do get bits like this where the glue's sort of dried and the flock's not really taken to it, don't worry too much about it because you can. I mean, I've tried to redo it, but the glue had dried. Um, but don't worry too much because you can always apply a little bit more PVA and just go back in and touch it up. And once you're done, just tap off any excess, make sure that you've got it off. I can see, you can see there's a bit there that hasn't taken. The glue's dried or maybe not quite got it with the glue, the PVA glue. So I'm just going to put some more PVA glue on now and reapply the flock in those areas just to give it a good coverage. That's it, guys. Once it's done, just gotta leave it to one side to dry. Then once it's dry, we'll come back and we'll do the final stage of sealing it.
Right guys, so all the flock is now nice and dry, so we've just got to do a final seal, just to seal all the flock in. And the best thing to use for it is watered down PVA. It's 1 part PVA to 3 parts water. put in a spray bottle, my spray bottle, so if you get any cleaning products that they need to give them a real good wash out, and then use those bottles once you finish with them. And yeah, just give it a really good spray. You may sometimes have to give your bottle a shake to get it to spray out. Once it starts spraying out, you can spray it. Don't spray too close because you can obviously, if there is any bits of loose flock on the top, you can knock it off, and you don't want to do that. So spray it from a good distance, about 15-20 centimeters. Just give it a curve over the top. Like so, and then that's done. And then just leave that to dry. And then once that's fully dry, it'll be set nice and hard. So once it's all dry, guys, I'll come back and we'll wrap this video up. Alright guys, so as you can see, quite a simple little project. And when you get these done, oh, they look pretty good, especially when you get quite a few of them dotted around your battle mats. Make it look quite impressive. I mean, this one's not quite hard, but as you can see with this one, it's not quite set yet. But as you can see, this one nice and hard. It's not going to fall off or anything. Like I said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like. And yeah, if you want to ask me any questions, drop them in the comments below, or head over across to my Facebook page. That link for that's down below as well. And yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you for the next video. Cheers.